Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate the testimony of the witnesses, and I hope you appreciate the intensity of our schedule around this hill. I have a particular interest in distance learning, and it's something that I've worked on for quite a number of years, more than a decade. And just to frame my belief in this, that certainly education needs a mentor, someone with their hand on the shoulder of the student, and that's an important component of this. But also, I've not watched technology develop in a fashion in education that I think it has the potential. And when I look at distance learning in the area of the military or the private sector, I see that, at least by my judgment, they're far ahead of especially our public education. We have some universities and some schools of higher learning that have taken some leads in distance learning, and I have, of course, communicated with them. When I look at a whole combination of things with distance learning, for example, there's a virtual reality center at Iowa State University. It's been there for some years. It's a 12 by 12 by 12 cubicle, and you can go inside that and put on a set of 3D glasses and take a controller that gives you an XYZ coordinate, and you can go virtually visit the Taj Mahal or the Cathedral of Notre Dame and levitate up into the air, look at it from the bird's eye view, go in the window, up above the gussets and the trusses, etc. It's a fascinating tool, but it's only one of many different kinds of tools out there. All the things that are available on the internet, the virtual reality component of this, text-based, or the text that is a rolling quiz test system that would allow students to grow their education at the pace of their ability. And it seems to me that distance learning has the potential not only to be a useful tool for the entrepreneurs out there so they can continue to get themselves up to speed in any hour of the day or night, but it also is a tool that could take us to the point where we could transform education and be able to have every student learn at the pace of their ability rather than the pace of their class. And so I would ask if there's anything in this bill we're talking about or any ideas out here in the panel that would care to expand upon that thought that I've offered to you. And a general question to whoever grabs the microphone.
If I may, thank you for the question, and I would tell you that from a SCORE standpoint, we believe that technology is an enabler that can allow us to develop relationships between counselors and clients in a variety of different methods and manners, and we're beginning to do more of that with communities and social media and so on. It's not a desire that is limiting, it's the investment ability. These things are not easily developed. You can do them in partnership, and a good example is the new community that we'll launch in a couple of weeks in partnership with a company that provides private label communities, and they've donated that, so we're very appreciative. But you can't always get this technology donated. So what limits our ability to enhance our offer and create more relationships using technology, distance learning, whatever it might be, is the investment. I've got a plan. It's a $14 million plan, and we're implementing it little bit by little bit because the funding just doesn't exist. Thank you for the question.
I thank Mr. Yancey, and I'd add to this question and offer back out. What do you think of the idea of providing education as well as technical assistance under a distance learning proposal? And perhaps, Ms. Dorfman, you were leaning ahead more than anyone else.
Thank you. I'm a great proponent of it. We have been using at the Chamber the various technologies to connect with members or our participants in our various educational seminars, and I think that yes, it can be accomplished, and for what we've seen is that it's also for a business owner who's very busy and doesn't have time to go to a meeting somewhere because the time it takes to drive them to get there, attend the class, drive back, whereas if they can put it on mute and listen, and if there's an emergency that comes in through the business, that they can take it and then get back to the class. So it really does well for small businesses. The cost, while there are some very expensive technologies out there, there are also very affordable technologies out there as well, and that's what we know where they are, and I'd be glad to help with that information.
I thank you. I thank all the witnesses, and I yield back the balance of my time.
I would like to respond on a couple of issues. One, because our members serve many communities, rural and urban, that are low income, we still have the issue of broadband coverage. And so even though this technology would be great in terms of reaching scale, we also must be aware that not all of our communities have access to broadband coverage to make that possible. Secondly, I want to also reiterate the issue of investment. AEO, my association, is moving to create a fund raising social capital that we can invest in these kinds of platforms that our member organizations around the country can link into. I have not seen anything in the present bills that actually will help support our efforts in raising that capital. And so looking at the issue of broadband, looking at how do we get the investment dollars to create platforms. So, for example, one of our members in Albuquerque, New Mexico, has actually designed technology that is distance learning, delivering technical assistance throughout the state. So what we're trying to do, and I mentioned earlier, Aspen Institute, one of our partners, has already evaluated the use of the pilot. And so they've done the due diligence. We know that it's an effective strategy for delivering TA to the entrepreneurs. And so we are now trying to, again, put together a fund that can build a platform to expand that to more members throughout the country in our association to be able to use that. But broadband and investment opportunities are clearly needed to make your ideas a reality. Thank you.
I thank you very much for getting that in the testimony. Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield back.